What is up, my dude? Welcome back to another video. I just wanted to come on here, and I think I'm gonna do a video every day of this month, or at least try to anyway, and just talk about autism and my thoughts on it. So today is April 2nd, and it is Autism Awareness Day, or what the Tumblr community is calling Autism Acceptance Day. So I think that is much better. Actually, want to talk about the term acceptance and the fact that I think it is great as a term, because not only because of neurotypical people being able to accept us and everything like that, but also for neurodivergent people to accept themselves. I am working on that. I think I'm doing a pretty good job, considering I've only known for about 3 months that I am probably autistic. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that term for a second. And then my actual first video is actually going to be a little bit of a book review on A Winter's Orbit, because oh my god, I love this book. Look at this cover. Look at it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty, and it's just like, oh, it's like 430 pages long, and it is okay. So it is basically a love story, a gay love story in space between an autistic person, an autistic man, and a man with ADHD. Like, what? How come nobody told me about this book? It's insane. It's insane. If you've read this book, did you also see that they're autistic? Because I mean, it's a sci-fi book, so they're not saying, oh, I'm autistic or anything. They don't bring it up. But like, dude, Janen is for sure autistic. I mean, like, it's unparalleled. And it was just it was the sweetest story. It was, I don't even know how to explain it, because it's like a murder mystery, basically, so basically the story is, the plot is Janen and Kiem is a prince of a pretty wealthy country, who kind of, like, the emperor of that country kind of like oversees all the other planets in their little like quadrants, right? And they have like one little space station where the other galaxies can come, and like they're part of like a bigger like world, so that way if anybody wants to take over their planets, they will have the backing of this huge galaxy conglomerate. And so basically the start of the thing the start of the book is Kiem gets called into the emperor, and he used to be like a party boy, and he's told that he has to marry the widow of a man who just died in an accident, in like a plane accident or a spaceship accident, and that's Jaden. And in order for, sorry, I'm not explaining this correctly, but like, in order for the diplomats, like, it's like a diplomatic thing, in order to, I don't know, it's sci-fi shit, you know, your basic sci-fi story, but it's so good. And it didn't get like bogged down with like a bunch of mumbo jumbo, because I freaking hate that. Like, I hate when sci-fi stories or fantasy stories are just like so unbelievably hard to understand what is going on, that I just like lose interest. Like, what are you saying? I don't know what you're saying. If I have to look up every word to find out what the hell you're talking about, if I can't understand an action scene because you're using big words that I don't know, or you made up words that you didn't give any context to, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about that? So this actually, it makes a lot of sense. I understood kind of what was going on. I got a little confused with the different character names, because they're all weird names, like, you know, like a Game of Thrones kind of thing, where it's like everybody's got like a weird name. Like Kiam and Janin are not like normal names, but that's okay. I understood. But there was a couple of like side characters that I got really confused as to who they were. Like, oh, is that the general or is that the doctor? Like, I was just really confused. So I kind of had to like think about it, and, like go back and be like, or like look through context clues when they do appear. I don't know. There's this one character, I think it was like Kevin, or it was spelled weird. It was like KVAN or something like that. I still have no idea. Or Havan. It was with an H. It's HVAN or something like that. Anyway, I still have no idea what that character was. Like, who was he? I don't know. I have no idea who he was. Anyway, but that's the only gripe I have is just the character names got confusing and like who they were in context with the book. But anyway, the plot is great. So I found it kind of cool because, okay, so I've been thinking about this a lot lately when it comes to autistic people, or just neurodivergent people in general, but no, mostly autistic people, because we have a hard time understanding neurotypical people. We don't understand what the social norms are. We don't understand, like, we can't grasp like what is going on, and it kind of like leaves us open to manipulation and kind of just like, yeah, we're being kind of abused, and that's what happens to Janin in this book. Not by Kiam, thank God, but no, because I wouldn't like that. No, but by his previous husband who died. So he is all kind of fucked up at the beginning of the book, and he slowly learned like little by little that Tam was kind of like an abusive asshole. Sorry if these are spoilers and you were going to read this book and I kind of just spoiled it for you, but that's okay. Nobody's watching this anyway, it's just me. Anyway, so Janin kind of got abused by this man, and he got cut off from his family and basically threatened and raped, but he didn't see it as that. Like, he just thought it was his duty because Tam would tell him, well, that's just your duty, you have to do it. And he's like, oh, okay, normal people, this is how normal couples work. So he just like assumed that normal people were always like this is how it was always going to be. So when he gets married to Kiam, he expects Kiam to treat him the same way, and Kiam doesn't, because Kiam's just like a nice guy. He's just like a super nice guy who has like some attention issues, which, I mean, obviously he has ADHD, it's totally coded that way. So he's just like a nice guy who's like cleaning up his act, and gets married to this man, and he thinks that Janin is still like recovering from the death of his lover, and so he kind of like backs off and like doesn't want to like push his like feelings on him, because he clearly likes him, he finds him attractive and stuff like that. They both find each other attractive, which is great. Anyway, Janin's like so confused. He's just like he wants Kiam to tell him what to do, because that's what Tam always did. And so he's like constantly saying like, what do you want from me? Like, what is it that you want? Please tell me what you want. Or he'll like be worried, he'll get like this anxiety when somebody asks Janin to do something, like himself to do something, and he'll like look to Kiam to like get permission, and Kiam's always like so confused. He's like, yeah, you could do whatever you want, like I don't care. But he always takes it the wrong way. Like Janin's always like, oh, okay, so he's saying that he wants me to do this, like he wants me to join this like group because that would look better for him, and so he's got to join this group in order to make it look better for the Empire and for Kiam himself. And it's like, it was just so clear to me. Like, I have also been feeling like I'm pretty susceptible to manipulation. Like, I don't know what is actually, like, I don't know what sarcasm is. It takes me a while. Like, I really have to trust somebody to realize that they are being sarcastic. That's why I don't make a lot of friends. I don't like automatically hit it off with anybody, because I just don't understand what they're talking about. Like, what do you mean? So it's like, I was actually telling my sister this the other day, because I was like, I'm so glad that I trust you enough to know that whatever you're telling me is truthful, and I can recognize your face now to know if you're being sarcastic. And like, I know your joking style. I understand the rhythm of the jokes, and I know that whenever I say something, you aren't going to take it the wrong way because you also understand me. Like, you understand me. And so, but like my, employers, I have a hard time with employers. Thankfully, my employers right now are really, really great people. At least I think so, but I do think so. They have their own lives, and so it's like they understand that I have like my own thing, and don't bother me. You can tell me something that you would want me to do, but like it's fine. So they're great right now, but my previous employers were so manipulative that I actually have like horrible flashbacks sometimes of when I worked there. And at the time while I was working there, I didn't see any like problem with it. I just went, oh, that's just what people do. Like, no big deal. But then like the more I'm out of it, more that I'm out of the situation, I realized, oh, that was wrong. They shouldn't have done that. Why did she make me do that? Why did she was such a horrible bitch. I cannot believe, I thought she was my friend. Like, I thought we were friends, but no, she just wanted me to work my fucking ass off until I fucking die. And it's just like, this book, like, just fucking, it came at the right time for me, because I've been having issues with my PTSD from my previous job. It has been a year since I started working at this new job, and they gave me a raise, which I've already said in a video, but like, they gave me a raise, and I was super worried that meant that they were going to start giving me more work, that they were going to start like putting more on me, and they haven't. They were just like, here's a raise. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice. It's so nice to feel like they're not like keeping me, they're not manipulating me into working constantly. I wonder sometimes if my mom is autistic, because she does that. She's so easily manipulated, and it just reminds me so much of me when I worked at this other company. And I just want to tell her, like, stop. Just stop. But when you're in it, you don't realize that it's bad. Like, you don't understand. It's not until you're out of the situation that you realize, man, I am so much better. I'm worth so much more than being manipulated by these assholes. Like, it's awful. And I just wonder sometimes, like, I don't know if my mom is also autistic, because she does have autistic qualities. And like, I think it's kind of like a, what do you call that? Like a, not a generational thing, but like a thing you pass down, a gene, whatever the fuck. Booty. Anyway, I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot. Also, I saw this TikTok this guy was on, and he was like, is anybody neurotypical? Like, for real. Can we just talk for a second? Like, do you know anybody that is, like, specifically neurotypical? Like, they don't have any autistic traits or ADHD traits, or, like, is anybody neurotypical? And if nobody that you know is neurotypical, then why do we do that to ourselves? Why do we always have people who present as neurotypical? Because they think that's normal? Like, why? Like, I think a lot of the population is more autistic than we think. I, for one, did not know that I was autistic for a super long time. And I wonder if a lot of people feel that way. Like, I think the number that I last checked was like 1 in 54 people. 1 in 54 people are neurodivergent. How? That's crazy. That's so many people. That's a lot of people. And it's just like, I don't know. I think this is going to be an interesting, I think TikTok is changing the world, honestly. I think TikTok is changing the world. There's something about the fact that we can share ideas so fast with each other from around the world. We could share news, we can share everything, and it's just a quick scroll. You don't have to read anything. You literally, somebody's speaking to you, and sometimes that could be some misinformation, but a lot of the time it is real to that person, and that person, whatever they're feeling, whatever they're thinking about, you also think about. Or maybe I'm being manipulated again. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think TikTok is actually really good for the world. Like, I don't know. Anyway, this book is amazing. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, and everybody should read it. Go read it. It's so good. It's so good. I mean, come on. It is a gay sci-fi romance murder mystery with neurodivergent protagonists. Like, what else could you possibly ask for? This is the stuff, the reason why people read fan fiction. Fan fiction is you putting headcanons on other people and writing them so that they're more like you. Or you see something in a work of fiction and you're like, oh, I can see this, how this might happen, and you write it. And that's why a lot of people write fan fiction and read fan fiction more than they read actual published books. Because this is a rare find. It's a rare find. Like, I have been scrolling through Book Talk, so I have seen like a couple of other books that sound really, really good and interesting, and I'll probably start reading one after I'm finished with this video. But like, I just don't understand why it took so long. Like, why is society like that? It's so weird and bizarre. Like, the way gender works in this book is also very interesting. They don't. So how people use pronouns is basically you are told by the person, by what they're wearing, that they are that gender. So I think it's like silver for women, like if they wear silver like in their hair or around their neck or on their arm, or like they wear a silver belt or whatever, it's like, oh, it's she used she, her pronouns. And then like I think, or no, wait, I think that's Flint. Flint is girls. I don't know. It doesn't matter. There was 3 different ones, one for girls, one for boys, and one for non-binary people. And like they use, like one of my favorite characters in this book is uses they them pronouns. I have no idea what they look like because the only thing that I know about them is that they were wearing a specific kind of jewel or whatever. And I was just like, that's so cool. Or there was a character who didn't wear anything and you had no idea what they were. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's such an agender person. Like, they could care less. They could care less about gender. They're like, fuck you. I think that's hilarious. Well, and also, like, the protagonists aren't gay. I mean, they have gay relationships, but they're pretty much pan. Like, they're like, who cares? And, I mean, honestly, it's just so good. They're also not white. I mean, you can't tell from these pictures, from the cover, so you could kind of put whatever you want on them, but canonically in the book, they talk about how their skin color, like, one is darker than the other, and I picture Janen as kind of, like, Asian, like a Chinese. Yeah, well, I mean, that might be stereotypical because he does a lot of martial arts, but I honestly think that's true because he's talking about, Janen's talking about how Hakim has like a really dark complexion, but it's not like it's black. I don't think he's black. I think he's more like Indian, you know, or like Middle Eastern. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting, and I don't know. I'm just. This is the kind of stuff I want to see. This is the kind of stuff I want to read. I think it's genius, and I don't understand why we don't see more of it. I would rather do this than the normal boring shit that I see all the time. Like, who cares about them? Why do we see them all the time? I don't know. But please, if anybody is watching this and they've read this book, please tell me Did you also see that the character is autistic and has ADHD? Like, did you see that? Or am I reading too much into this now? Because, like, I feel like I'm not, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the new Disney Plus show. Dude, fuck, that show is so awesome. I love it so far. I love it so far. And the thing is it's pretty fucking gay. And it's not like queer baiting, I don't think. The thing is a lot of people are like complaining about it's queer baiting, but also a lot of people are making a pretty good point in the fact that they don't care that they're being queer baited. They understand that it's mostly just queer coding, that these characters aren't with women, which I don't think they're going to, which is interesting. Very, very interesting. I think that they're not going to make them. Like, in the first episode, Bucky does, like, date a woman, but, like, it doesn't go anywhere or do anything. Like, and just because he dates a woman doesn't mean that he doesn't date men, too. But, like, I don't know, there's something about the show in the fact that it's not malicious in its queer baiting. It's not queer baiting for the sole purpose of having people ship these characters, having the LGBTQ plus community come together and, like, watch the show. Like, we're all gonna watch the show anyway. It's fucking Marvel. Of course we are. Like, why wouldn't we? So I think they're like, we are going to do this for you. We're going to give you some stuff. It's not going to be canon. It's not going to be, like, explicitly stated, like, these people love each other. Like, Sam and Bucky are, like, totally in love with each other and can't express that. Or at least attracted to each other and can't express that. We're not going to tell you that. But we are going to give you scenes that you can interpret that way so that you can think, you can make it canon in your head. You can be like, yeah, okay, thank you. I understand that you, as the writer and the creator of the show, can't do everything that you need to because you are Marvel Disney property, and Disney's not going to make a canon couple and show it on Disney Plus, which is basically a channel for kids. Like, it's not going to happen. So I understand, and I'm glad, as long as they make it open-ended, that they could be. There's no explicitly stating that they're not gay. There's no explicit stating that they would refuse advances from each other. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It's fine. I think it would be amazing if they ended up together. Obviously, I've already said this a billion times. Disney would be my overlords. I would hail them for all time. But don't think that they're going to do that. And so what the creators and the actors are giving us is all that I could ask for. So I appreciate it. I think it's a beautiful show with beautiful people. I mean, Anthony Mackie I love him. I love him. I think he's one of my favorite actors of all time now. Why is he so great? I don't know. He just seems so genuine. He's just a genuine person, I think. Like, you can tell that he is there to make you laugh, to make you cry, to make you think about things, to be gentle, to listen, he just seems like a really nice guy. And his characterization of Sam is so good that my heart melts every time he's on the screen. And, like, obviously I love Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan is so beautiful. Just a beautiful person. And him and Anthony Mackie just have such good chemistry together. I love to see it. I will see it no matter what. Like, they could do whatever they want with the characters. Honestly, at this point, I'm too far gone. I'm too far gone. You watch next week. Next week I'll be talking to the camera and I'll be like, they fucked up. How dare they? But, you never know. Maybe they don't. Maybe they actually do a good job. Anyway, that is my book review. And that is my thoughts about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier so far. And that is my first episode or first video during Autism Acceptance Month. So I will be back and Have a good day. Adios.